everyone. This is Shalene Wright. So we are back completing. I don't know if we're going to complete this today, but we're going to see how far we can get with our creative session and see where this goes. So while I was offline, I had some doodle time. I meant to come live yesterday. I wasn't able to, but I still took an opportunity to invest some time in myself and start coloring it. So as you can see, I filled in the hair, the bra, and I started adding a bit of tones to the skin and the lips just to see where this can go essentially. And this is just a starter for where the session will be. Right now my daughter is asleep, so we'll see how long we have today. So today's creative session is essentially focused on making sure that I'm just prioritizing me. It was kind of a hectic morning. My daughter is teething, or she was teething, and she's been getting better. She had the worst of the teething on Thursday and Friday night with a fever. It was kind of wild. So I'm glad things have toned down a little bit right now. So I'm gonna pick up. Where should I start? I was actually working on the skin before, but I wanted to make the bra a little bit like more orangey red rather than, it's kind of like a cool pink. I know I said I wanted to do pink, but as I was doing it, I was like, no, that's actually not the color that I want to do. It's too cold. I went with the yellow, which warmed it up the way I wanted for the skin tone, and the hair with the brown instead of going in with like a black and adding a bit of texture to the hair. But I chose a pinkish, a cool pink that I feel like isn't really matching right now. So for today's session, I'm going to kind of warm it up a bit more, add some details. Maybe I'll be a little bit all over the place, but we'll see how long I have and take it from there. I might actually have to use an orange shade instead and warm it up that way, having like a bit of an optical illusion, like something like that. So we'll see what happens in that regard. Just give me a moment while I set up here, and it'll really give me a chance to grab my colors and my references. I actually don't really have a reference, but like I need to gather my ideas in general. So my desk is a little messy, so just give me a second. It'd be so fun if my daughter wakes up right now. I put in a load of laundry and I started tidying the bathroom a little bit, and then I said, you know what, I need to just sit down. So I'm sitting down now and I am about to get into this. So just give me a second. Okay, so just looking at the color swatches that I have here, I see, yeah, we're not doing blues, we're not doing grays. We're gonna keep it warm. We're actually gonna move more towards orange and more towards red. I started with the pink, we're not doing that anymore. So let me find a color that I feel confident that overlaying it over this pinkish red will bring it a bit more warm the way I want it to. And then, you know, I might get it wrong, and that's okay. And maybe I'll just add details on top of it to kind of like save the image. But it's supposed to be a fun session, so I'm not gonna pressure myself and make too much about this because I do not give myself a lot of time to create outside of my work. So this is the dedicated space that I am creating. If you're watching, this is your space too. Oh, thank you guys. Hi, Eliane. So this is a space that I'm focused and dedicated on creating, where if you really need a minute to pause, reconnect to yourself, and give yourself a minute, this is where it's at. Because life is kind of crazy these days, and this is what art is for. So don't let art stress you out when it's literally the one gift that we have. And whether it's writing, whether it's creativity, whether it's writing, whether it's dance, whether it's music, you have to sometimes you just have to block everything else out that tells you to be perfect and just do what works for you. So let me find a nice color. So as you can see, like I have the Ohuhu set, which comes with the 320, but finding markers once you know what you're looking for is equally as challenging. Even though I've tried color coordinating them, it's just a little hectic. So let's see. Um, yeah, I don't want to even start too like saturated either because it'll overpower everything. So I feel like maybe going in the direction of the chrome orange. I want to see where the chrome orange pushes us if I overlay it on top. So wish me luck. Let's see where that happens. First challenge was selecting. Next challenge is finding the actual marker. YR170. Okay, so yeah, I'm starting with this one today. I kept the markers out that I already was using, and I'm going to refer back to them later and kind of like see what happens. So let's see where this goes with this orangey color on top of like this cool pink. Oh, it's so saturated. I don't know if I want to commit, but I have to. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh. Using markers is so full on commitment. If you need exposure therapy to following through, start using markers. I'm so serious. Markers on paper? Are you kidding me? Cardstock? Get one chance unless you're reprinting everything. And that's what I do with this. So I illustrated the image. If you guys don't know, I'm an illustrator and I illustrate children's books and murals and all those kinds of things. So I figured, hey, why not just illustrate my own coloring page? So I went ahead and did that. Oh, this is kind of nice. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm actually feeling it. You know what? I think I'm happy. Hi, Kira. Yeah, this is actually not bad. I went from pink and we brought it a little to the orange side, and now it's like an orange reddish. Ooh, it's kind of cute. Hold on a second. Let's sit here. Let's add some depth now. So before Friday, I was using the thanks for the reaction, guys. I did the skin and we added a little bit of depth with the shadows. I don't go too crazy with shadows. I try to keep it simple and fun. My attention span, like it's okay. Like I have an average attention span, but once I start getting bored, like I'm gone. So I'm gonna do the same with the bra here and find a nice shade that would complement this one that I chose. But the tricky thing is, like, I chose this color, right? But the actual depth of this pink, of that color, was like this. So I need to choose an orange that won't totally, like, throw us overboard. So let me see. Um, it's like art is math sometimes. I hate it, but it's like, oh, it keeps me accountable. It's just like I'm still sort of in the math realm, anticipating and making like inches forward and inches back in terms of color, values, and opacity, and all of that stuff. I kind of hate it, but like you can't really get rid of it. So you got to work with it. So I think I'm gonna try the shallow orange. No, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Ugh, I hate this. Hmm. I'm gonna go for Tiger Lily. I'm gonna use this color here, right beside the one I just used, but I'm gonna water it down. And I guess I'll explain how I'll do that in a second. So YR172, I kind of wish I had all these pre-chosen, but when you're creating on the fly, you don't really know where you're gonna end up. Let me see. YR172. I kind of wish the system they created was linear, where I could just select them in order, but I find it doesn't go from like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. Sometimes it jumps from like 70 to 120 to YR1 to YR2. So it's a little haphazard the way I find and select colors once I know what I'm looking for. I'm finding every color but the one I'm looking for. Ugh. YR 172. It's pretty great because here it's Sunday. It's a nice Sunday afternoon, and the weather is getting a little warmer here in Canada. I live in Ontario, southern Ontario, and compared to what it's been in the past, oh my gosh, it's only like -10 today. I'll take it. I'll totally take this. I am living for this. It was like -20 for so long, perpetually holding, and I've been so cold. Even though uh, my home is pretty well heated and all of those things, it's been quite the trip to just maintain like that bodily temperature the way that I like it. So now I'm going to do what I was saying I was gonna do. I'm gonna go in with the orange once again to kind of like guide where I'm gonna put the shadow. So it shouldn't make much of a difference adding that one because it's like the base color. But if I go over it with this darker tone, oh my gosh, that's so dark. It shouldn't be as harsh. Oh my gosh, it's so dark. That is, that's crazy. Let me keep going. I want to stretch it out a bit more with that. Let's keep that there. That is so dark. I don't like it. It's too dark. The way I intend to use this color to add more shadows, it's going to draw way too much attention to the center. And I want it to be just a bit more subtle, something I could blend, something I could stretch a bit more. So I'm gonna select a different color. I think I need to go with YR190. YR190, and this is called Cadmium Orange. If you're here live or if you're catching the replay, because I know some people, you guys are catching this on the back end. If you're enjoying it, I encourage you to like so that this video and this live stream can reach other people who also enjoy coloring, who need a minute in their day, and just like that extra push to prioritize themselves a little bit. Having any creative bone in your body is like a perpetual constant fight against, am I good enough? Is what I'm sharing good enough? Am I making the best use of my time creating things for myself? I feel the older you get, there just comes with so much challenges with determining if your time is being best used, spent in creative endeavors. So definitely making the space, just showing up today to remind you to do something for yourself. I actually had like such a terrible night of sleep last night. Hi, Mia. It was so bad, but I actually feel energized today, which is such a weird trade-off. Such a strange trade-off. I actually like this orange, so I'm keeping it. It's a good subtle like shadow, and it doesn't draw too much attention like this color that I was showing you earlier. You're so hungry. I get it. I actually said I was going to live stream before I eat so that I didn't have nerves. So I'm right there with you in terms of hunger. I feel like I could go for some pizza right now, something kind of really oily and greasy, but I know that's not gonna happen. So it's just kind of a dream. It's kind of a dream right now. What are you guys feeling for? So the orange is okay. I don't really have like a set plan. Like I know I want to add a texture, but I don't have a set like this is what the design I want to add on top with like an ink pen or something. So I'm gonna sit it right there. Is she Swedish Purple asks, is she scratching her bum because the poison ivy she's holding? So no, I kind of envisioned this to be more so like is that what it's called, a hibiscus plant? I could be mistaken, but I saw this really beautiful photo of this flower and she was just holding it to her face. So I wanted to do something similar, and her hand was actually behind her back and in the sweater. So when I illustrated this, I didn't want to draw too much focus to this hand, because actually in the picture you couldn't see this hand anyways. So no, she's not scratching her bum. Yeah, and yesterday I forgot to fill in the belt, but I think I might let it. I don't really know if it's a belt yet. I don't think I intended that, but we'll see what I decide a little later. I'm trying to decide what colors to make this plant. Originally, I wanted the bralette to be a bit more pink, a warm pink, but as I was doing it, it was conflicting with the yellow and the blue because it was such a strong color. But I actually think using the pink in the center of this flower would be such a beautiful touch. I'm going to see what colors I can use to bring that together. Every moment, like as I'm here, I'm just listening out for my daughter. She's sleeping, and it's so funny because usually when she's napping, what I do is I either try to catch up on sleep or use all this time to prep for chores or something later on in the day. But right now, I am prioritizing this. I'm prioritizing getting some me time in, and this is what pouring back into myself looks like. And it feels great, honestly. It feels great. I still have to do dinner. I still have a couple of other things I need to tackle, but this comes first right now. This is way more important. Let me see. Da, 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 da. So maybe I could do a bright orange flower with like a vibrant yellow in the middle. Let me see. A yellow and pink. Let me think. Oh, that's so hard. Like, you could do so many things with color. There's so many things I could do. Maybe I will just do it that way. I kind of like this orange. I like the orange that I got with this. I think I'm going to replicate this in the flower, bring the warmth up a bit, and see where that takes us. But first, I need to find a nice base yellow that I can do underneath that'll peek through the orange. So why don't I go with a soft yellow first? This is actually a good one for later. Let me select that. Okay, I think that's pretty close. That's a good start. Let me see. Just give me 1 second. I just need a second. Okay. This is the one that I wanted. So let's keep going. I'm hoping I selected a yellow that's light enough, but something I could also layer once I add the pinkish orange to the rest of the flower. Oh, that's gonna be so cute. So let's see if we can make the depth a little deeper. with another shade of yellow. So if coloring and having healthy, consistent, small practices of creating art and fostering and nurturing like that inner voice is something you're interested in, I'm actually starting a group where, well, actually, an online studio, I would say, where I really want to prioritize helping people get back to making art. Something that I learned becoming a mom is that it's so easy to put yourself last, and it's so easy to prioritize everything else in life but the things that actually bring you joy. When I was, I guess, single and child without my daughter, I would say that putting these things first, not that it was easy then, but once you find yourself particularly busy and in the grind of your career and of life, somehow, if you are not diligent about maintaining a practice of pouring into yourself, it's actually quite challenging to suddenly start getting back into making art if you know you're a writer, if you know you're a musician. Like, if you had a practice of being oop, that is not the one I want. It's this one. If you had a practice of making things and making art and sharing stories, singing songs, and life starts to get busy and you totally abandon that, it takes real effort to reconnect again. And I just wanted to share that starting this month and going on forward, I am going to continue to show up for you so that you can continue to remember. So if you're seeing me live stream, just remember, what am I supposed to be doing for myself today? Like, what have I done for myself that is going to help me feel like I've prioritized myself even a little bit. Because with the way the economy looks these days, the way our priorities are, like, even if you're part of the sandwich generation, like where you have your parents are right there, your kids are right there, and you're serving two generations, we still have to find ways to carve out that intentional time for ourselves, because life is just literally passing us by. I woke up the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm 31. I'm 31 years old. When did this happen? I got married almost 5 years ago. And it's really been eye opening that a year has gone by since my daughter was born, and 9 months of carrying her. And it's just like all of these decisions we make that I am actively a part of. But if I don't intentionally set aside time to be like, yeah, this matters. I want to look back at the end of the year. You want to look back and say, you did the things, or you left the mark you wanted to make that year, so that you can look back and reflect and say, it wasn't all just work. It wasn't all just logic. It wasn't all just the practical stuff. There was times for play. I know some of you on this live stream right now have a book inside of you that you have not written, or you haven't published it, you haven't found your illustrator, you haven't found your agent, there's just work to be done. Some of you have inventions, some of you have songs, some of you have albums, and I'm just saying, the world needs them. When I go into the bookstore, I'm always amazed because it's just like there's a section for everyone. The bookstore is kind of like where I draw most of my inspiration, even though I do not read a lot of books. I am just so inspired by that, the fact that it came from someone's head, just like music and other things. I just feel like because I can see and tangibly see a book in a bookstore, like how many books about cooking have been made and they're still coming out. It's mind-blowing. It's actually mind-blowing. So I just want to encourage some of you to keep prioritizing in the little ways that you can, because I know life gets hard, those things that are important to you. Whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's your health, I hope that you can still carve out those 20 minutes. Like, I've been on this live stream for 24 minutes, and I'm doing more on this live stream than I feel like I would have been able to accomplish independently, um, if I didn't prioritize it. So these live streams hold me accountable, but it's also a ritual that I'm creating. And I think these rituals, no matter how long or short, I think over time are like your sketchbook, and they're your journal. And it's just your evidence to say, like, hey, I was here. I left my mark. Even if it's a mark only I will see, and maybe you don't want the world to see it, but it's meaningful because it's you. It's kind of funny on social media and on different sites, everyone kind of wants you to just, get the most following, get the biggest audience, and do the most and be seen. But I don't think everyone wants that. And maybe not at the same time. I think some people just want to be able to have the freedom to not feel bad for prioritizing themselves, or to not feel like what they're hoping for isn't silly. Not everybody is at that place where they want to be seen. I think some of us are still trying to figure out if it's okay to want something. And that's why it's important to surround ourselves with people who will listen to those, those crazy thoughts that actually aren't that crazy. They're actually totally reasonable. It's funny because, like, when you're surrounded in an environment where people don't really, they can only see what other people have done. Hey, Jared. They can only see what other people have done. It's like you're trying to convince them that what you're saying could be real, or that you have the potential to make something. Not even to be great, not even to be seen by thousands, but like, oh, thanks for the love. Not even to be seen or to be great, but like, you just need to be acknowledged. And so, if there's anything I want to reiterate today, is what did you do for you today? Even if it's just taking a moment to consider, I might actually be good at something, or I might not be good at it, but it's better that you tried and found out where you stand than wondering, like, could I actually do it? Maybe I actually can't. Sometimes trying is so much harder when you don't have people who won't ridicule you or laugh if you fail, and when you fail, because you will fail at some point. You may not do the best job, and like, having people who aren't in your corner makes it so much harder. You actually don't want to fail. Oh, hi, Edna. Welcome back. So yes, what paint did I use up there? Jeez, I was just talking. I need like a random piece of paper to test out the markers before I put them on the paper. Give me 1 second while I just get a scratch paper. I think this is what I'm looking for. Yeah. I think this is the color of the flower that I used. So I'm just gonna layer this pink again. Not really happy with that. But it's okay. I'm actually going in with it with the orange. With a really bright orange, or should I use a darker, vibrant orange? Well, we'll see. This is gonna take some layers. And I'm learning too, so no pressure. I'm actually surprised my daughter is sleeping so long. I'm so proud of her. Sleep is so sacred. So I am so happy. Okay, let's see where I want to take this orange now for the flower. So I did use these. I used these ones already, and I don't mind using them again. I just feel like I need to lean more yellow orange than I did like more pink red orange. I think that's the play. So while I do like those, I might have to just stick with this. What is this? This is Y2 Sunflower. Yeah, actually, this is what I used on the sweater yesterday. It might not be that bad. Well, let's see what happens. Nope. I should have known. This is not it. This is not the one that I wanted. It looks like it on the swatch and it's so dark. This is crazy. I was looking for a bright, vibrant yellow and this is what I got. Nope. That is insane. How about no? Let's go for a different color. Alright, I actually think I looked at that color and thought I grabbed something else. That is not nice. No, this is not what I wanted either. But you know what? I think I could work with it because it's at least yellow. I'm going to bring it orange on the next pass. Only thing I'm sad about is I started with the pink thinking I was gonna get like another pinkish color, but alas, that didn't happen. So let's just keep going, see what happens. Oh dear. No. But it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I might just play with it a bit more later. Let's see. Well, I might just have to do it. No, this is not. I feel like I accidentally put the lid on the wrong one and I'm getting totally confused. That's closer. Lord, this is not perfect, but it was not supposed to be. I'm gonna have to go back in with the yellow and see if we could blend some of these edges. Not sure if you guys know, just reiterating it, that I do have an online studio that I've started where it's just going to be a dedicated space if you're someone who is still trying to reconnect, find their voice, find their creative like space again without the pressure, without feeling like you need to have everything figured out. I'm starting just an online studio where we can join in these rituals together every couple days and start working on building that practice again. Where is that yellow? Jeez, what did I do with this flower? You know, it doesn't look that bad, but like I'm not in love with it. If you're interested, definitely I'll keep going live and talking about it. It's going to be hosted over on Patreon, but I will still be going live here on YouTube. I might, once I figure out how to do it, I don't know if I could live stream to Twitch as well. I don't know if that's like the platform for me, but maybe Twitch, maybe somewhere else. I don't know, but I'm kind of liking YouTube right now. It's a lot less pressure and easy access for me to get to just click and go. So if you are interested in joining that community, there's definitely a way to get there. Link in bio on my Stan store. I'm going to post the Patreon link and you can check it out, and that's where I'm going to put all the live replays and put all of the tutorials that are to come this week that you'll see. We're going to be going through them together and it's going to be so much fun. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do, what I'm trying to do in the community I'm trying to build. I just want to remind people how important it is to take that time for yourself, because life gets harder But it doesn't mean you're supposed to let go of the things that bring you joy and the dreams that you originally had before all of these things happened. There's got to be a way to tend to both realities, to tend to both things. And I believe that is through regular practice, regular, consistent, small, intentional, daily practices that we make to stay connected to the creative side that we have just innately. So I don't know where this yellow went. I am looking for the yellow I used in there, and it is missing. I don't know if it fell or what, but I want to finish this orange, but it's impossible without it. So let me select a new one. YW40. It says that's that, but it's really not. Let me see what happens. I'm just gonna start to feather the color and see, maybe it'll start to blend on its own. I think it's helping, but I don't want to make it too intense at the same time. Okay, I'm actually gonna leave the flower there. I'm overworking it and I don't think it's that important. So why don't I move to a different area? I actually started working on a little cute blush on her cheeks, and I thought that was so cute. So I want to build a bit more. I don't even know what color I used, but why don't I use this? So I'm also using Prismacolors on top to get it where I need it to be. No pressure. Just to push the depth a little bit and to add color in places that it wasn't really before. Sometimes it can get a little flat, and I think some people do like that. I like it too. I just use the pencil crayons to push just to push the color a bit more, where I feel like marker can get a little intense. But using the pencil crayons it's kind of like a safe way to get more depth and get more texture. I think texture is the right word. It's a great way to get more texture without how water spreads through using the markers. So doing that, just pushing things a little further. I do like how this is reading so far. Try not to do too much there, but it's actually coming together. I want to add some more individual strands to the hair, which I think would be really nice. A really nice optical look to have. And then I think I might actually color in this area where I originally had the belt and see what happens there. But I'm actually feeling pretty good with where I was able to bring this, and what I'm going to do is just prioritize adding those details. I'm gonna see if I actually have a highlight marker. Like a gel pen almost, but something like that. I don't want to over commit by using way too many colors, and I feel like the nice happy medium is using the pencil crayon. and just using white and black. And I feel like giving it that graphic quality. If you know me, I like to keep things a little graphic. I love detail and realism, but in the realm of my patience, I think I might just stick to using like the white pencil crayon. I think what would be nice though, and I might take some time to do it on the side, is I want to create like a pattern that I can put on the bra that'll kind of bring it back together, make it pop. And I want to do some more, so the texture to the hair, I want to get some, a pattern, and which will add texture to the bra. And what I want to do is add details and highlights. I would normally do this live, but I feel like I see my time has run out for today. So that's 40 minutes. Just to give you an example, that in 40 minutes and in those pockets of time, we're still able to get a lot done. Like, I don't know if when the perfectionism kicks in, you feel like you need to do everything in one sitting, but I'm telling you, carving out those small pockets, just give yourself 10 minutes at a time each day. Not even that, just start with 5, or just set your desk. Sit down and see what happens, because chances are, where you feel like you needed your motivation and you needed the inspiration to lead you, once you get your hands moving, your ideas are going to start to flow. If you just allow yourself to just create something, then that 5 minutes can turn to 10, can turn to 20, or you start adding those sessions together across the week. And that's more meaningful to have a practice where you're coming back into creating versus where you feel like you have to be all in and have like this huge commitment. So with what I was able to accomplish and achieve with this session, I'm still pretty proud of it. The next time you see this, it's going to be near completion, if not finished. And then I'm going to be moving on to doing some practice coloring pages. I think I want to show you the preview. Hold on. I think I'm going to show you the preview because these are going to be available for download as well. And when you download them, you could work on your own skin tones. I'm creating a list for my members right now. If you've been following me, you know I created this one before, which was super helpful, where I created a little sheet for myself for skin tones for people who have deeper skin tones, because it can be a little hard to identify those. So I'm starting with these, where I go across the different skin tones. I created this a little over a year ago, but I'm going to revise it and create a new one that has a lot more depth, a lot more exploration. But you can look forward to that. This is a sneak preview of what I've made, and I have a couple versions that I'm going to do going forward, so you guys have a template to work with in your own time. But for now, this is all I've got. And I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for joining in this practice. So the studio that I've started is called Hope in Hand Studios. And that's a place where we're building and maintaining healthy creative habits to help busy women, busy moms, women who are disconnected from that creative side, and helping them return back to themselves during some of the busiest seasons of their life, or where they feel like they've made that disconnect. So if that sounds like anything you'd like to be a part of, I highly suggest you follow the link in my bio at Shalene Wright. It goes to my Stan store, and you'll get more information there. And you will see everything that I've been talking about. But for right now, you can re-watch the live stream and see what else is featured on my channel. But until next time, thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.